So till now, what things we have covered is the first uh, data types. Okay, what different kind of data types it is. Second, operators. Operators. Third, depth of the data types. Depth of data types we have covered in depth. In fourth, we have covered flow control. Flow control as in for loop, while loop, nested for loop, those all things. If else. So I'm writing on if else, so you can understand if else if all those parts we have covered. Okay. We have covered list comprehension as well. Okay. Dictionary comprehension as well. These things almost covered. We did patterns coding. Patterns coding with for loop and while loop. Okay. These things we have done. Now, today, the topic which we are going to start, that is most important, very important, because this topic you will keep on learning even if you will have the 4 year 5 years 6 years of experience in that. So that important, that much important this topic is. And the name of this topic is functions. This is very, very important, so please focus on this. Before going to this, just one more topic here. In this case, I just wanted to make you guys comfortable with the concept of generators. That we can cover it after the functions also, decorator and generator. But I wanted to cover it generator because generator doesn't have the dependencies with the uh, any of like functions and all. So let's see what exactly the generators are. So if I'll ask you a question like this, so do you know guys there is an what is the demerit of Python? The one of the major and the biggest demerit of the Python is it is too slow. It is too slow. Okay. Now, if I'll ask you to write this code and get the output for I in range and then I'll ask you to do print I square. If you'll try, can you imagine how much time it will take? If you want to do this, or I want you guys to use this in the code, use this and just before to this code in your Jupyter notebook, add m% time. So this is a magic command. We'll see that in later stage, what are the magic commands. And this one will give you the time of the execution for this code. So just try and see. Just first try it with this value, only with 10. Okay. Once it is executed perfectly, just try to give some bigger value here and try to see how much time actually it is taking. You will understand that how much this time it is taking. Try it in a minute, and I wanted to revert it. Please try it in a minute. Guys, can you tell me what exactly, whether it is running it for running it or not?
Where do we have to write the time, percent time command?
Just in the block where you are, if suppose this is your Jupyter block, so you'll have to start it with percent time and then your code for I in range, so on, and your print statement. Just enter it in your block. Everyone, please do that. See, if you'll do it together the way I'm asking, keep on, make yourself active in the coding, then only you'll become comfortable. Otherwise, if you're thinking that yeah, this can be done, might be you'll think it at this point of time, but later on as we'll go it with the codes of 100 lines and the 200 lines, then it will be very tough to you. At that point of time, neither you can do it by yourself or not even able to understand the flow of the code. So please do that. Make yourself comfortable in coding. I saw the lot many people who can attend the interview, they can give the theoretical things, but as they ask the approach, the solve to how to write the code for that and all those things, they got failed. The 95% of people has the same issue. So please, I want you guys to make yourself comfortable. And otherwise, at the end, once the course will get completed, you will get you'll say that you are not getting the jobs, not able to clear the interview. So this is the major reason. So please, this should be not take at more than a minute, but I think it said it has taken 3 minutes since I told you guys to do this.
Yeah, we executed, but it's going on. It's not like finished yet.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
still running. So that program is still running with it has not yet concluded the output. We just gave one followed by eight or nine zeros, and it's still running.
Yeah. So this is what exactly it's how it will take a time. So now here the concept of generators came in scenario. Now exactly what is generator? See that. Suppose the same thing, this one which you are seeing it here, no? And now I'll write a code. Now I will not do any coding on the Jupyter. I'll write it here and I want you guys to do that the code. Okay. So the same thing if you want to do and see how faster it will work. And again, can just use this here in a block, this percent, and then space, give some space and time. I for I in range, give as much it is 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever it is. Okay. And run this. Run this and check what's the time it took to that.
With one, when the previous thing is still running, can we use the
No,
next
you
one?
cannot run. You have to on a Jupyter, you will see it something like this. Okay. So it will just kill the kernel. Okay. It will just
Okay.
stop. You have to first stop that, or there
Uh-huh.
will be something written like this kernel. Okay. Click
Uh-huh.
that. And as you will click, it will say here, stop the kernel and clear all output. So select that, it will
Okay.
automatically.
Yeah, done. Sure.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Yes, I've said, tell me.
So actually, recently I am joining the session as of now. So can you let me know what are you doing yeah, in this
So
program?
okay, so I was explaining the concept of generator. So what generator is exactly? Try to write this code first, and when you write it, it will take too much of time. Okay, and you'll use the magic command here on top of this code in your Jupyter notebook. But the same thing, if you write it from this way, probably it will take fraction of seconds. You can try this, and then I will explain. If you're able to run successfully, then I'll explain what it is exactly and how it works.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
second one, it is executed quickly.
What's the time?
Actually, it's not printing, it's just executing it. So it's like for 15
How
and
it is possible that it will not execute?
it's not printing anything.
It will not print, but it will tell you the time, that
Yeah,
how much
time here it's wall time is 45.8 new s it's saying.
total time. Tell me total time.
Total time it's 33 new s.
Mu s is a microsecond.
Yeah.
So you can see in 33 microseconds it has ran. Maybe it might be not this much, only this much. But you can see it how quickly or the faster it has ran. So if you now check the type of what is the type of this T and check what output it is coming. Print type of T. This variable, whatever you have written here. What is the type?
It says generator.
Generator. Correct. So now this how generator works. So usually first we have to use a generator whenever you have to work on the large data, huge numbers, highly computational things. At that point of time we have to use. So see, list comprehension we write a for loop like this: for I in range 10. This is list comprehension. Dictionary comprehension, I, suppose I into 2 for I in range 10. This is dictionary comprehension. But if I will write it like this, I for I in range 10, this look like a tuple comprehension, but this is not tuple comprehension. This is actually a generator. And this is how. Now the question is, how do you, Sayed has shared something. What did it say? I'm not
Eh,
getting.
eh, I'm not getting output for this. So is
Yeah,
this code correct or
no, it is not correct. You have to see this. Did I wrote here any column? I haven't written any column here. Okay, so you have used that column. You do not have to use anything, print on anything here. You have to simply write this kind of code exactly as it is. Okay,
okay,
and
okay.
then you will see.
Done. Thank you, Ved.
Okay. So in terms of tuple comprehension, generator it will type. So it will, when we have to use, when you have to work with the huge data and it works faster. Actually in the backend it has written in a C. And now the question is, if suppose I have stored it in some variable like here T. So the question is, how would I print that? So either you can print it by using for loop for I in T, print I. Okay, that is the one way. But if you'll say again we are using for loop, so the other thing is you can use next. Next is a keyword or the function next, next of T. As you will write next of T, it will print the first value. So first value will be 0. Again, if you will print next of T, it will print 1. As you will do next of T, it will print next value. But what is the magic in that again? Once you will print any value from the generator, let's suppose I printed the first value, automatically this value will be get deleted from this variable T. Automatically it will get deleted. You do not have to delete it. So that's how it has optimized in the memory. You can try it how in, so see, if you have a multiple definitely blocks in your Jupyter notebook. Okay, so in this block write like this: T is equals to I for I. After I, there is a space, okay? For I in range 10. Okay, and run this, execute this cell. Once it got executed, then come to the other block and here print next of T. So, and then make this one little bit lower time so that you will understand in a minute. So here just write 3. Write 3 only. Print next of T. Here again, and just a minute. Here, write like this. Print next of T. Print next of T. So in other block, write 3 times. Okay, and execute this and see what output you are getting. Probably you will get 0, 1, and 2. Okay, and then after in another block again write print next of T and check what output it is giving. Check it and tell me. So you understand, first write this code, execute it. In a second block, write this print next T, print next of T, print next of T. And then in other block below to this, write this code, print next of T, and tell me what output it is exactly giving.
Wait for me, it's throwing
So 0,
some
1, 2.
stop iteration error for me. First it gives 0, 1, 2, then it's giving stop iteration error.
And there must be something else also with that. Read the complete error.
So stop iteration cell number 21 line 1, it's just showing that.
See
I'll just
the last error. See that what it has written.
see.
Okay, anyway, so if you are getting error, what does that mean? It means that inside the T, now there is a no value. Whatever the value was there, you have printed that value and that value got automatically deleted from this T. Now there is a no value. Okay, so for range 3, there was value 0, 1, and 2. And you used that value and it got automatically deleted. So it optimized the memory. So whenever you ran this, no, it won't work on the runtime like that. Whenever you will try to execute, there it get initialize the value and delete that. So this is the concept of generator. And for the fresher basis, for a first year, for 1 or 2 years of experience, they will definitely ask the concept of generator, why it is needed, how to use that, what is the syntax of that, or where you can use that. So these all things I think I have covered and I had answered you. Okay, so this is how the concept of generator. Now let us start the concept of functions, which is very, very important. Because see, whenever we will do the project, no, those all project will be like in concept of class and functions. Okay, we will write all the codes like that. So if you are not aware or familiar of the functions, then while explaining the object-oriented programming at that point of time within a class, when we will try to define the method, you will not able to understand. So now from here, everything is interrelated, connected. Not from here only, since beginning definitely. So be focused. So two things we need to know in the functions. What is functions? Why we need, and the third is how to use. These are the basic why we need function and what is function. See, the function, one thing I have explained you, there are two types of function. One is predefined functions, and other is user defined. So can anyone tell me any of the predefined functions names?
Like print, min, max.
Correct. This print is a predefined function. Input is a defined function. Length is a predefined function. There are a lot many. To check the minimum value. Okay. Type to check the type. Type is a ind. So in Python, how you do understand whether something is a function or not? Definitely, it should end with the parenthesis always. It means that is a function. Okay. Predefined function means the functions which are already built to do some specific work. So why we use the print function? To print something which has written it here or change the line. Input, to take the input from the user. Length, to print the length of the objects. Minimum, give the minimum value from the given sequence or the interval. Type, to check the data type of that. So these all functions as already defined in Python, the predefined, so for some specific use. Now, if suppose you want to build your own function for some specific use, so those are called user defined function. Now the question is how we do that. But before, why we need even that? These all are already there. Why these all are there? See that these functions are written, but it's not like that. You can, if you want, you can create your own functions for these things. Okay. But here the question is why we need function. So let's understand one example. There you will understand the use of function. Let us suppose I am building a calculator. Okay. I'm building a calculator, or if suppose, just imagine I'm just trying to calculate something. So I'm trying to calculate addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay. Between two numbers, AB, 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 AB. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I have done it here. If suppose the same thing, I want to do it later on my code, again, I have to write the same. Plus, minus, multiplication, division. Between this variable, like if suppose I have to do it between the variable C and D. Okay. If suppose anywhere I needed these operations, again I have to write. So see that how many lines here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here if I needed 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this, so now what the coders or the researchers has done, so why can we do it something like that, that will create one function which can perform these operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Once we will create this function, and now wherever it will be needed, I will call that. I can call it here, I can call it here, and I can call it here. And this calling is for only one line code. Now see how efficient it is. Now, if your code was 20 lines of code, like if suppose there are 5 times you have to use some calculation. So how much it will reduce? Only 5 lines for the functions and plus 1 if suppose, and then rest all 4 lines. So the 20-line code will become in 10 lines. Just 50% line got reduced. And wherever you want, you can call that. Even we will learn the functionality. If suppose this is one Python file, this is one Python file. If I want to call in another Python file, even I can call these functions. If it is written here, I can call this. Okay. And see one more thing. Whatever we are seeing or the working in this Jupyter notebook, no, these are not Python files. These are IPYNB file, which is called notebook files. Okay. The extension for the Python file is .py. Okay. How to work with the extensions files, with the Python files, I will tell you. Let me explain it first here. So simply, let us suppose there is a Python file here. So Python file, you can give any name, but it should end with .py. Okay. And let's suppose this file you have saved at the location C user, at user location. Here with, if suppose this is my name at this location, by the name of abc.py. And some code is written. Let's take very simple. I have written here print hello. Now, how would you run this code? So you have to open the terminal. You have to open the terminal and you have to go to that location. Go to the location where your Python file is saved. So the terminal will open. If suppose it has opened in C and user, you have to just write CD and write with and hit enter. It will open C user with. And once it has come to that location where your file is there in your terminal till here, if you had come, now what is the command to run the Python file? You have to write here in terminal Python space and your file name abc.py and hit the enter. Done. And your code will run. Now let me show you. Let me show you. Are you able to see the screen? I have opened the file explorer.
No, sir.
No way.
Okay, no.
Only the
I, I
notepad.
think I have shared only the whiteboard. Let me close that and share the entire screen. Can you see that now?
Yes, sir.
No, I can still see
Yes.
the whiteboard only.
Only whiteboard. One second.
Yeah.
1 second.
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. Now probably you will see. You can see now, right?
Yeah, now it's visible.
So if suppose I'm saving any file, let me create the file at the desktop. Okay. So I will do right click. I'll create how to create. You can create any in a text document. So if this is the text document, okay. So let's write the name here ABC. Okay. Currently extension is text document. Now open this and I will simply write here print hello. Okay. I will save this. Now I'll go to the file, save as. Okay. Here, file name is okay. If suppose here you have to select all types, and make it. If suppose abc.py, hit enter. Now, see, you can see it here now. Another file is created. Let me delete this note. See this file is created. And what is the source now? Python source file. And if you check the properties here, file type, here it is. See the location. Little so.py. Okay, I'll open it. Now, let's do the right click. And now if suppose you want to open this file, okay. So view, okay, I'll do the double click. So since I have the Jupyter VS Code, so it will directly open in the VS Code. Else you can, if you have a Python ID, it will open in that whatever it is. Now you can see it here. So how would I run this? If you have a VS Code, it is very easy. Just open this and you can go on a terminal here. Sometimes in lot many things you will see only the go, from the go you will find out the terminal, but otherwise go to your terminal. And do you know where this file was? You can see it here. See, this file is at C user del desktop. So now I have to go it there. So currently I'm in D drive, but I have to go to the C drive. So how to go to the C drive? I will just write C and the colon. So now it is pointing to the C drive. See the terminal. Okay. You can use the system terminal as well. I'll show it from both way. C drive. Now CD and users. Just write U and give a tab. Now it is added the user. CD del, because I have to go to that location. So I'm keep on doing tab del. Then desktop, CD desktop. Now it has come. And now if you want to check right here ls, it will show what are those files present at that. So you can see here it is showing abc.py. How can we do that now? I will write here Python space abc.py, your name of the file. Hit enter. See that. If you want to make any changes here, let's suppose, let me write here for I in range 10 int I. Or if suppose I can, if you want to run it terminal from the terminal, so name is equals to input, enter your name. Okay, I'm just writing it to take an input from a name, while name is not equal to if suppose with, okay, uh, then name equal to input, enter name. Okay, it will keep on asking else int entered name correctly. Okay, now I have saved this. Now let's run it. So if I use the above arrow key, it will automatically do the, now see here, it is asking enter your name. You can see it here below. Okay, now I will enter the name ABC. See that it is again asking enter name. Okay, okay, I have written double dot inside, but anyway, that's fine. I'm writing here name demo. Okay, keep on asking. Now if I write here with, see that enter name correctly. So you can run it from the terminal levels. This is the way. So is there any confusion in that? If you want, I can show it from the terminal as well. You can just Windows plus R and open the command line. So this is the command line, it will open. And how do you do that? First, it is in the C drive automatically. But if it is not in the root directory, if you have to change, you have to write it like this. So if I'll enter, it is automatically in the C drive. And if you want to go back, cd dot dot. Okay, so it will go to the back. So cd, I have to go to the Dell. Okay, cd, then I have to go to the desktop, and then in desktop Python, you'll just tab, it will come and see enter your name. I have a row, let me write Dimple, Raj, Saurav. So any name, it just keep on asking, but as I will enter with, enter them correctly. So code is running from the terminal as well. So this is how it is. It okay? Everyone is comfortable that how you can work with the Python file as well. The Jupyter file is something different. Python file is something different. Okay. So do not get confused that this is the Python file. That in a Jupyter notebook we are working. That's a IP file. Whenever we need to build an application, a product. Okay. In that case, you have to go with the those all with Python files. Okay. Agree or any confusion in this? You can ask. Okay. So I'm assuming there's no confusion. Let us jump to the again our board. Hope you guys can see my screen, right? Okay. So you are clear with the what exactly the inbuilt functions and user inbuilt functions. What are those? What is Python file FLV? Now let's understand user defined function. User defined functions. Okay. So we understood what is functions, why we need that. Now how to write the function. So first let's understand the syntax of that. Syntax of user defined functions. So to define a user function, Abhishek, please do not write anything on the board. I don't know that how to stop the board access for the participants, but anyway, please don't do. Okay, so how do you do? First, you have to write the keyword DEF. Okay, DEF is the keyword you have to write in a small letter, DEF. Then you have to give the space and you have to write your function name. Function name, and that could be any name. It should not be the Python reserved keywords. Python reserved keyword means alien, length is a Python reserved keyword. Print is a reserved keyword. So these are already been used in Python. So please do not give that name. Okay. So here the function name, and then you have to give the parenthesis and you have to give the colon, and inside that whatever you want you can write. This is inside whatever functionality you want to add in this function, that we write. So this is called function body. Function body. And this line is called function declaration. Function declaration. Okay. Now, one thing you need to understand. The very important, just focus it. Okay. So in function, there are two things. Okay. One is function declaration. Okay. And the second is function calling. These are the two things we need to understand. Okay. Now, this is called here your function declaration, where you are actually defining your function. Defining your function. But once you define the function, it doesn't mean it will give the output. To get the output from the function, you need to call that function. Call that function. For example, let us suppose, let's create a function which will add two numbers and give the output of that. So I'm writing here def, and I'm creating here the function name summation. Okay. And what exactly it is doing? It is printing, suppose 10 plus 20. Okay. Now, so I want you guys in a Jupyter block, write this code and run and tell me what output you are getting. Done this. If this name you are thinking it's a longer, you can reduce it with the any name. Okay. But I want you guys to write this code and run in your Python function. After doing this here colon, just hit enter. Automatically the cursor will come at this position and write this code. Okay. Please do that. Do that in 1-2 minutes. This is much more enough. And now onwards, to yourself, do not consider that you do not know anything in the Python. Okay. You know something. Only now, if you are feeling it like that, it means you are not learning, or you are not spending the time. Okay. So please do spend your time there.
So Ved, I didn't get any output for this.
Okay. At least you didn't get any error, right?
Yeah, no errors. It was no output. That's it.
Okay. So definitely, and that's what it was expected. So this is here, we only defined the function, declared the function. We created a function which is adding two numbers 10 and 20. But this one will only execute once you call the function. So in another block, just write this function name. If suppose summation, write the same function with this, and now run this block. Below to this, run this block and check what output you are getting.
30.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are getting the answer 30.
You will get 30. Means here this is called function calling. Function calling. Now you called this function, whatever you had built it, and you called and it has executed. This is how the beauty of function. So you will create it. Once you need that, then you call it. That's it. So this is how the functions works. Now another. So, but this is not as simple as much. So I just tried to explain it a very layman way, very simpler way, so that you can understand. Now the next thing, suppose if my question is write or create a function which accept two numbers and results with subtractions of that number. That number. Okay. This is so. How can we do that? Because here we were only summing it up two values, 10 and 20. That's it. But how to build, if suppose a generic function where you can give any two numbers and it will give the subtractions of that number. So you just imagine, for if you are going to buy a calculator in a market and they will say for the addition this is one calculator, for subtraction this is another calculator, for division this is another calculator, for other operations this is other, like that. No, it will not. No, there is only one calculator which can perform all those things. You will give the input and command, it will work. So that's called the generic application. So this is what I am just trying to create, a very simpler like an ABC of English, that a function which will accept two inputs and give the subtraction of that. So how we can do that? So let us suppose I am creating a function def and the name of a function is demo. Okay, demo. So if whenever in a Python will ask write a function which will accept two numbers, that numbers you have to declare it here. So I am writing here a, b. So if two numbers, so two numbers I have to, and it should print or return whatever. I will come on that what is print and return. So as of now, let me write print here. Print a minus b. Correct. So now if I have to, this is the function declaration. Now if I have to call this function, I have to write here demo and any two values, 10, 20. If again I want to call this function, I will write here, I will write in another block demo 30, 70. Again, if you want. So this is the beauty of function. Once you create it, you can call it any number of time. And you can write again this function with other parameters. It will give the. If you want to make it more generic, in a block just below to this, create a block and write here a int input enter first number. Okay, and the same may be int input enter second number. That's it. And then you just call it function here demo a comma b. Whatever the this code as you will run, it will ask give an input for the a, for the b. Now whatever the number on which you want to do the subtraction, give the input any and b, and this function will get called with that value and will get printed. So this is how passing of parameters in a function. Getting my point? At least you guys are comfortable or getting to know that how the functions exactly work in Python, right?
Yes.
So just try this two line, this line with this, or with this one. Try this faster as much as possible. Do that. So today I'm going slow in a function because this is new topic I started. So this is how I will approach any new topic. The first day when I'll start it, I'll go with the slow, but at the second day, I'll go a bit faster. So if you have not paid attention at the first class of that topic, it will be tough for you to even understand the basics of that. Okay, so it is giving the output, right?
Yeah, it's working.
So this is how you declare a function. So tomorrow, what we will understand, see, this whatever we are passing it here, no, in this function, whatever these things, let me change the color. Whatever these things we are passing it here, no, this is called the arguments. Okay, so there are different types of arguments. So we will understand when to use which argument, why, and in which scenarios, and what are the different ways. So the arguments are, the first is positional argument. Second is keyword argument. Third is default argument. And please go through the recording. If you have any question, confusion, go through the recording. If you think that I had covered in the classes and you are not able to recall, go through the recording. And if you think that something else I haven't covered, I missed it, ask in a session, I'll try to answer. Variable length, argument, and the fifth, variable length, keyword arguments. So these are the 5 arguments. Tomorrow we will dip down in both, all, sorry, and after that we will try to do whatever the codings we have done till now. Those all codings will try to do it through the functions. Okay, and we'll see how we can implement that. So this is how the things will keep on going. And then once we're comfortable with the functions, then we'll implement it in a class, that how you can write in a class and do that. And after that, there are very good topics are supposed to come, and one of my favorite topics also in that. So the next topic will be file handling. File handling. Second is exception handling. Exception handling. And then third is regex. This is my one of the favorite topic. If you are interested in the natural language processing area, NLP, in a generative AI somewhere, you must have to give the focus on that. This is the very base starting of the NLP. If you want yourself to go, the regex, it is very, very important. Okay. So these are the 3 coming topics after this function. So focus on this. We will try to implement all this concept with the functions capabilities. We will see in a file handling how we can handle the image file, the video files, even audio also we can do. We'll see normal text file, how you can do, how you can read and write from the text file. This is also will get used a lot. I even use it after the 7-8 years of experience. I do use the file handling. Even today in my one of the work, I have used this file handling. Okay, so this is very, very important. I'll just show you if you want, if you can see it here, this code. See that this is a file handling concept, and I use it. By seeing it is a 2 line, but you need to understand once you're comfortable that when to use and where to use. Okay, so that one you need to understand. Okay. Okay, so that's done for the today.